the beat, y'all.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 7 minutes past the hour on this 21st day of October. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up. Yo, information, inspiration, motivation in the morning, conversation that promotes elevation. It is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Good morning, family. No matter where you're at in the world, no matter where you're at on this planet, if you're tuned in to social media, to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, we're at the JDMS, and on YouTube, we're at 100 BLK Media. Good morning to you. Waking up this morning, I want to remind y'all once again, it is a blessing to wake up every morning. And with that being said, if today is your anniversary, your birthday, a special day, let me ring the bell for you, blow the horns, and give a round of applause. Celebrate your special day with happiness and glee that you woke up this morning to see this day and reminisce on all the great memories that led you up to this day. And if you need to tell somebody you love them today that you haven't told them that you love them in a long time, do that. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Share this with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's JD Live, hashtag Truth Be Told. And while we woke up this morning, I don't know if we woke up this morning paying attention. I say that constantly. Pay attention. Pay attention. Food stamps and Head Start may stop on November the 1st if the government shutdown continues. Pay attention. SNAP benefits and Head Start may stop on November the 1st if the government shutdown continues. I can only deal with the state that I live in. With no resolution in sight, nearly 850,000 SNAP recipients and over 20,000 Head Start children in Louisiana could see a disruption in their services at Head Start and SNAP benefits if the shutdown continues into November. November is 10 days away. Pay attention. Please pay attention. Some folks reached out to me yesterday, and I have to reply to this. As once again, I am going to make a clear, concise statement. This statement is my statement. This statement is a statement from the position and from where I stand. This statement does not reflect anybody else but me. I am a man of the people, for the people, and with the people. I want to make it crystal clear. I'm not running for anything. However, if I was a federal elected official, I could not in good conscience, while the government is shut down and folks are trying to figure out how to pay their bills who are government employees, I could not in good conscience sit in a legislative body and receive a check while the American people who elected me to said seat and work for said government are not receiving a check. That's just me. Now, somebody said that's easy for you to say when you are not a person who is sitting in said seat. No, I highly disagree. What we got to stop falling for, family, is the okey doke with political posture and the way some of these politicians try to talk and try to shame folks into feeling like you don't know enough or you're not smart enough or your level of understanding just ain't there to what's going on. No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm using common sense that you don't have to go to any institution of higher learning to have. See, that's the problem. We got a few problems I want to address, and it's 12 minutes past the hour. Problem number one. I'm not here to examine, criticize, or talk to you about your level of understanding or education. Mind you, Malcolm X never had any formal education. And I can name a few other folks who never had any formal education, who went to a formal institution of learning called a university or a higher place of an accredited school of learning. So you getting a degree or you being from a certain school only means a few things. Number one, it means that you went to school, that you paid tuition, and that whatever class or curriculum you took, you received the minimum mark that somebody said that you could pass that class. It does not connotate or denotate that you are intelligent. It doesn't mean you're smart. Because these days and times, and not only in these days and times, but days and times before this, we all know there were athletes that were dumb as rocks that have degrees that other folks took the classes for. In the spirit, and I'm going to say this name because I really had to take time out and look at a few things and kind of put myself in a position of, as a black man in the United States of America, what I will not do is watch folks disrespect black women. So I say this name endearingly because though sometimes she do say a few things that I'm like, ooh, that's kind of deep, and that might have been a little bit reckless. Don't disrespect that black woman, Jasmine Crockett. Sister Crockett brings up some very valid points. Now I know her and a congressman from my state are beefing hard. I know her and Clay Higgins are going at it. Sometimes what I will say to folks is, before you go into a fight, make sure that you got all your ducks in a row. First of all, I want people to Google right now, no matter where you at in the United States of America, no matter where you at in the world, Google where Louisiana, when it comes to quality of life issues, where does Louisiana stand? Statistically, because I lie, you lie. Women lie, men lie. No matter what your profession is, you can be the coldest pastor on this planet. You have told a lie. Ain't nobody exempt from embellishing or lying. Everybody has lied. Numbers never lie. Even when you manipulate the numbers and you take certain things out to make the numbers look a certain way, the numbers still tell what the numbers tell, and that's the truth. Now, you lied and manipulated the numbers to make it look a certain way, but the numbers will always come out showing what the numbers are to show. That is the truth. 2 apples and 2 apples is 4 apples. Now, watch this. if I start working in percentages and start trying to play with you with fancy words, because I went to a few places of higher learning and I know how to make things happen. Let's say that the apples are black and white apples, and I start moving apples a certain way, and I can tell you, well, so many percentages of these apples are like this, and so many percentages of these apples, but it's still at the end of the day, there's 4 apples on the table. Regardless, if I show you a way that I can move it, that I can say, well, these white apples actually equal 50% of the 4 apples. Now, I can say one white apple equals 50. I can manipulate numbers to make you see it a certain way, but the numbers are still true. At the end of the day, there's still 4 apples on the table. And family, we've got to pay attention. Folk are always telling you about DEI. And now, what is really seasoned to amaze me is how non-melanated folks who were never stolen from their homeland, who literally came here of their own free will and admission, are now trying to say that they are being oppressed by black and brown folks who say, we just want what that piece of paper said when you wrote it. I don't even know what to say. And it completely saddens me that there are black and brown folks, instead of us banding together, standing on a united front, we got to fight each other to find out who's going to be the HNIC. And it sickens me to my stomach. And it literally takes me to my core. That you have actually folks who are non-melanated, folks whose ancestors were never slaves, telling you that they are being oppressed, that they now are suffering racial injustice. Just asking y'all to pay attention. And while we're doing all this, while right now, this peace agreement in the Middle East is literally on a razor thin wire. And what happens if it doesn't sustain? Understand, folks are saying that certain folks deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. And don't get me wrong, I am thankful that you have positioned yourself to sit down and usher in peace anywhere. We need global peace, not just a portion of peace in one place. We need peace across this world. That peace will probably never come because we always put dividers within our own society. None of us look at as ourselves as first a human being. We don't, including self. I go back and remind myself, you are human. You didn't ask to come here in the package that you're in. You are human. You are a human being, like any other human being. But no, we divide ourselves, and this division has been there for eons. We got to pay attention. Because while all this conversation and bantering and going back and forth of who's qualified, who's not qualified, who's educated, who's not educated, who has the capacity to understand this, who don't understand this, who this, that, these, those, and the third, guess what? The government that most of us voted in. Because I can say this, most of you are folks who go vote because you understand the precious price that was paid that black and brown folks could go vote. Understand, not too very long ago. I was born in the 60s. I was born in the 60s. Back when I was a baby, a swaddling baby in swaddling clothes. Black and brown folks didn't have the right to vote in the South. Period. Y'all act like that was eons ago. It was not. Morning, family. 20 minutes past the hour. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. JD Live, your early morning, get up, wake up, wake up. It is Tell the Truth Tuesday, and we've got to pay attention. There's rumors as nominees come forth for certain positions. There are rumors and allegations of racist texts and racist things that have been said. And at the same time, while we're not paying attention, George Santos got clemency. I want y'all to understand how we don't pay attention. George Santos got clemency. And P. Diddy is doing 4 years for it. If you put it in street terms, and that's where I'm going to put it. I'm not going to go highly educated. I'm not going to put it at a place where folks will be like, oh, I see the legal terminology. I'm talking to folks. I'm keeping it simple, stupid. P. Diddy doing 4 years for buying coochie. In a nutshell. And George Santos got clemency from Donald Trump because Donald Trump said, you know why he was there? He always voted Republican. I want y'all to pay attention to this one more again, please. Food stamps and Head Start may stop on November the 1st if the government shutdown continues. Family, we've got to get to a place that we demand more. Once again, I'm not running for nothing, nor do I plan on running for anything. But I will say this, I've always been a man of the people, for the people, and with the people. And we have to ask ourselves, are the people that we are putting in office, do they really represent us? Do they really know how it feels to wake up every morning and deal with what most of us deal with? Did they really come from where we came from? Once again, what I am sick and tired of is folks who have never been oppressed using the word oppressed as if they have been oppressed. Y'all need to go look at Webster's, as Jasmine said. And then try to make black and brown folks who never asked to come here, who were stolen from their land, their native land, brought here and put into slave labor. Now you got folk wanting you to be convinced that no, we being racial. You racially gerrymandering certain things to make it work for you. Ladies and gentlemen, my humble opinion, wait a minute. This wasn't an even race from day one. How many black and brown voices was in that chamber when that document was wrote that governs this country called the Constitution? And mind you, even in the amendments, black and brown folks still don't have voting rights. Pay attention. This document has been in play for hundreds of years, and we still in the year 2025, on the 21st day of October, we do not have voting rights solidified by law. If you're black and brown. George Santos got clemency. Do I believe that Donald Trump will pardon P. Diddy? Probably so. To get us distracted again. Because you ain't paid attention to George Santos. You need to Google what George Santos did. But here's the amazing thing. George Santos will get clemency. George Santos will come back. George Santos was on Fox News talking about, oh, now I can get some Botox and I can get myself back to the top. Watch this. You and I can say this because I've seen this. I've lived this. You and I can tell an untruth, a lie. You and I can say something that is not true, truthful. We can do something for whatever reason. When we lie, we are labeled a liar for life. There's no clemency coming for us. To be exact, we will then begin to go amongst each other and discredit each other. This is the thing that amazes me right now. Black folks will fight each other, talking about, oh, she lie, he lie, oh, they a liar. I'll forget them, don't talk about them. I love Trump. Oh, he a criminal, he a crook, he ain't worth nothing. He'll steal, he'll defraud you, he'll do this. I love Trump. So let me understand this. The white man can lie, steal, rape, plemish, do everything. He's okay. I still love Monsieur Candy. Monsieur Candy's still my man. But let Django come in and do one thing that we feel is unethical. Django says, look, I ain't going to church this Sunday. Oh, Django, you going to hell. You a heathen. We love Monsieur Candy. We love when Monsieur Candy straps us to the trees and whoops out behind because we ain't been acting right. We love Monsieur Candy. We love when Monsieur Candy say, guess what? It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault that my people own them slaves. I never owned them. I never owned a slave. Why are you mad at me because my great-great-grandpappy owned a slave? And yes, I kind of benefit a little bit from all that ownership. And yeah, we kind of stole all this land, but I didn't do it. And guess what? I'm going to give you a good job working for me. I might even take you all the way up to manager. Now, why are you mad at me? I'm going to make sure you get paid. Or do you want to be like the other ones that look like you on them benefits? I'm going to make sure you have a good living. Come on, family. We got to wake up. 27 minutes past the hour. While we over here bickering amongst one another, while we trying to decide who not this, who not that, who this, who that, the government is still shut down. And yesterday I asked the question and nobody seems to come and give me the answer that is suffice to my soul, my conscience. We did elect these folks to office, didn't we? I promise you, if there was a law put on the floor today that passed that said if there is a next government shutdown, nobody gets paid, there would be never another government shutdown again. Understand this, folk don't care until you start messing with what's going on in their house. When the people who are in the legislature, in the federal legislature, in Congress and in the Senate, tell their wives and their husband, oh, I'm not getting paid because the government shut down. Watch how things start getting resolved. But the problem is, in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you on Instagram. I see you on Facebook. I see you out there on YouTube. And good morning. Thank you. Thank you that you have logged in. I'm telling y'all, let's pay attention. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm not here to tell you how to think. I am telling you, you need to begin to think. I'm telling you, you need. So let's see what this question. Brother Barnett said, Joe, what can the average black man with a mind to be great and a faith in God not be able to do great country? Serious question. Eddie, I'm not even going to try to go down that rabbit hole or debate you on that level. I am saying the following. While we are so busy bickering about what we can and can't do, we live in a state that is in the lowest of the top of the lowest 3 states in the union in every category. I live in a state that is such. And I live here of my own free will and admission. So let me get that out. Brother Eddie, if, and I'm saying if for a reason, we got to put the word if in because your statement alone put a variable in there that doesn't need to be in there if you really believe this book. Geography has absolutely nothing to do when you put God into the equation or put a higher power that you believe in into the equation. Geography has nothing to do with it because you can flourish in the desert if God is with you. And if God isn't with you, in my humble opinion, you can be in the best utopia and starve. So I'm going to take out this country and I'm going to just leave in the God factor or a higher power or the most high or whatever you may choose to call him, her, or whatever you may see the higher deity as. That's why I say if God be with you, I end every show that way. Nothing or no one can stand against you. So I don't care where I'm at, long as I know whom's I am and what he or whatever you may see that deity as. If I know what I know and I know whom's I am and whose I am, I'm good. I can be in the prison and I'll be all right. I can be somewhere foreign and I ain't got to worry about nothing because I'm covered. So geography ain't got nothing to do with it. And honestly, if the Most High is with me, I'll flourish wherever I am planted. Because my flourishing does not depend on my geographical position, but to whom I'm connected with, in my humble opinion, spiritually. That's why I can say this. I choose to live in the state of Louisiana, though Louisiana ranks last in quality of life in the bottom 3 in everything. Am I suffering in the state of Louisiana? No, not really. Am I where I really want to be in the state of Louisiana or on this earth? No, not really. But that has nothing to do with where I live. That has more to do with me. You know, when I decided to take on this daunting task of going back to school after being out of school, I graduated in 89. That's when I received my bachelor. I received my master's, my first master's in 91. I received my second in 99. So to go back to school, I'm not concerned about where I'm at. I'm concerned about who I am. It has nothing to do with the where. It has to do with the who and to the whom, in my opinion. And you ain't got to agree with me. I'm not here for your agreement. I'm here to tell you we all need to begin to think and we all need to pay attention. And I need you to expound on the misplaced faith because I know who I am and I know whom's I am. And and regardless if you agree with me or don't agree with me, you can't shake that. Nobody can shake that. The only person that can shake that is me. And the only person that can change that is me. And I only change that when I receive enough information to make me understand that the road I'm on ain't the road I need to stay on. But sometimes in this journey of life, you start on certain roads and you get off that road because that's not the road you're supposed to be on, not to make it to your final destination. And that's another thing, Eddie. I'm not the type person to try to tell you how to get from point A to point B. I understand there is a point B we're all trying to get to. You have whatever journey that you must be on to get to point B. And guess what? You may beat me to point B. If so, you and anybody else on this planet. And there are billions of folks, and that's another thing. There are billions of folks on this planet. Billions. And there is a life cycle for each one of those individuals. Those folks have came, those folks will be, and those folks will go, present company included. One day, this physical body, I will not be here. And another thing, once again, And I always use the word if, the I and the F. If you read, I'm more concerned about what happens on the other side because I believe that's eternal. This is temporary. I'm just here trying to tell folks pay attention. So you said not you with misplaced faith, people as a whole who depends on anything but God for providing. You know, Brother Eddie, it takes listen, I haven't always listened. I found this out the hard way working in the penal system. I used to work in a jail, in a prison. I don't anymore. But I found this out. And I'm going to try to say this the best way I can. When individuals who are lost wind up found and find information that was either hidden to them or was literally kept away from them, some folks get punch drunk off of said information. And that's good. It's good and it's bad. It's not good to be drunken with anything. With anything. With anything. And they then begin to want to push the idea that was that lit the spark underneath them to everyone. And that's fine too. Just understand everybody won't receive it the way that you received it. That's my new thing. I come on here Monday through Friday and I do what I believe I was given an assignment to do. And once again, let me make this clear. I'm not running for no political office. I'm not a teacher, preacher. I'm not a bishop. I'm not a prophet. I'm not here. You don't see a cash app running at the bottom. You don't hear me talking about give me stars. You don't be exact. I believe even if you put this in my Facebook Live, you don't see a little thing say, hi, my name is Joe, and please share this, and this is how I get paid. I'm not concerned about all that. I come here every morning with one thing and one thing on my mind. Do what I believe was told to me to do by a higher power. And I depend on him to take care of whatever I need to have taken care of, including that's why you don't hear me saying this podcast is sponsored by. Don't get me wrong. Folks sponsor things that I do all the time. But you don't hear me saying this podcast is sponsored by it. You need to go see so and so with such and such because they good people. And don't get me wrong. There are good companies out there with good people who sell good products that I wouldn't have a problem saying that if that was the case or if I knew that, hey, but I'm thankful that I don't have to do that because then I don't have to come on here and say, because we're all human. We all are flawed and we all make mistakes. Present company included every day. I probably made 5, 6 mistakes yesterday. Either known or unknown. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm able to freely come on here and say what I need to say until one day, and guess what? They're working on it until one day they decide to legislate these podcasts. And they're working on it because they now see the power of the mic. Now, here's the funny thing. Some of y'all new to this. Some of y'all, Brother Eddie, prime example, much love for you. Brother Eddie has a little thing he does. You need to pray. Go to his, I think he's got social media platform. I don't know if he has a website, but go because he gives great prayers. And prayer is necessary. And I infer you to go to that man's page and listen to him when he prays because he prays from an earnest place of his heart. And guess what? There's a lot of social, economical things and a lot of political things me and Eddie don't agree on. But when Eddie is praying, hey, I'm pray on, brother, because you pray good prayers. And what you are saying, hey, I believe that comes straight from your heart, goes straight to the ears of God. And I hope God comes back down and rains down blessings on everybody. I have no shame to say that there's a lot of stuff I do not agree with, but I will tell you to go support Eddie Barnett and his prayer and his daily prayers that he does and puts out on social media. And I pray that Brother Eddie, if that is a means of income for Brother Eddie, I hope he's getting paid. And I hope he gets paid a lot. I don't care if I get 1 penny for these podcasts. I don't, because that's not why I'm here. And once again, just because I don't mean I'm discouraging you not to support him or anybody else who is getting paid. There are a lot of folks that I do not agree with a lot of things they say, but if they're getting paid to do what they do when they come on these microphones, man. Go support those folks. Everybody deserves to get paid. So my God has provided all my needs. He has given to me exceedingly abundantly more than I could ask for or even think. In my 58 years, next year, if I live to see it, be 59 years of rotations around the sun. I done woke up in a lot of foreign lands. I done seen a lot. I done lived in some high places. I done had some times when I didn't have barely a meal to eat, clothes on my back, or a roof over my head. I know how it feels to be homeless. I know how it feels to be an orphan. I've been that. I'm not telling you from what I read or what I saw or some movie where I said, oh, I just feel sad for the people. No, I've been there, done that. I have lied. I have stolen. I have done some things that if they had caught me, they would have put me under the jail. But for somehow or another, there was grace and mercy, and I was sustained until I changed. And see, that's the thing that y'all don't want to talk about. See, y'all too busy wanting to talk about, look at this legislation I did, and this place wasn't happening. Now, I ain't here to brag about my good things. People see my good works every day, and my good works wasn't done for me. They were done to glorify the one who gives me the power to do it. But let me tell you about the bad things I've done in life. Here's why I tell you about it, because I'm telling you about it where you won't do the same thing. Because I was only, by the grace of God, not caught. I, by the grace of God, have never been convicted. Doesn't mean that I didn't do it. Just means I didn't get caught. And some of y'all need to really get to that place, in my humble opinion, that y'all realize that it was the grace that you haven't got caught. And before you get caught, get out and change. You can. I never thought, and I can tell you, my better half will tell you how I cried. I cried like a little weeping baby when I got my acceptance letter to go pursue my doctorate. I had a person tell me, man, with all you done, you mean ain't nobody. Look, how you get a piece of paper, you have to wake up. See, my new thing is, regardless of what other folks say, I got to wake up with me every morning. And there's two people who are always going to know the real truth. That's me and God. You can fool some of the people some of the time. If you're good, you can fool all the people all the time. The two people you'll never fool is yourself and God. And some of you have lied to yourself so much that your lie has become your truth. So now you believe that you're walking around with a truth that is not a truth. It's a lie. So you live in a lie. And let me tell you something from somebody who's been there and done that. The truth always comes to light. And normally when it does, it makes you realize that all you did was waste a lot of time deceiving and fooling folks when guess what? You're going to be just fine being you. Just be you. Just be you. I don't need a title. I don't need a position. I don't need an award. They don't make an award for what I do. They don't make a trophy. They don't make a plaque. They don't make an honor. Because what I do, I serve. I say it all the time. Help who you can. Fix what you can. Everything else, let go and let God. I used to have another saying, but people were thinking I was getting that for John Wick. It's not a John Wick saying. It is a Masonic saying. And if you are truly a traveling Mason, a Masonic man, you know this saying has been in place for eons. I am here to serve and to be of service. But nothing, nor no one is bigger, is not the table, than the collective of humanity. In other words, I humble myself to realize that be I high, be I low, I'm still here to serve. More of us need to have a servant's heart instead of trying to serve and post on this and serve and show folks, oh, this is me. No, just do what is required. Let other folks, you ain't never got to tell me what you doing. Because some of you, that's all you doing. You telling me what you doing. You ain't really doing. You position yourself as a piece on the chessboard to make it seem like your piece has power and your piece can move and do certain things. But the truth about it is you still just a piece on the board. You don't move until you move. Somebody will catch that at a later broadcast. It is 13 minutes to the top of the hour. And while we're not paying attention, while they are on the news arguing about the GOP maps and gerrymandering and of course the oppression of folks who now are dealing with reverse racism, because DEI is reverse racism. That's what it is. It's reverse racism. Hold on. So back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and some of the 70s and up into the 80s and 90s and the 2000s, and still now, when folk get certain things just because of who they are and who they know and not from their qualifications. Okay, I digress. Once again, family, I'm here to tell y'all need to begin to think. I'm not here to tell you how to think or what to think, but I am here to tell you to think. And no, I don't have a Cash App. Never will. No, you don't need to give me stars. What you need to do is free your mind. And upon freeing your mind and making sure that you yourself got everything that you need, or at least as much as you can deal with, begin to make sure that your family good, your house. See, you start with self. Get self together. Then you get your house together. Then if you can, start working, helping your neighbors, get your community together. Then it keeps going and going and going. And mind you, you can't save everybody. You can't do everything. You can't hold every title. You can't serve on every board. You will stretch yourself thin. Find your place and your purpose and move accordingly. Understand, there are times you will be imitated. There were times you will be mocked. There were times that folks will laugh at you. There are times that folks will say, man, what are you doing? But if you know that you know that you know that you're where you're supposed to be, keep doing what you're doing, because you're not doing it for them anyway. And you're really not doing it for yourself. You are a servant, and there is somebody somewhere that you may never hear them say what you said changed my life. But in your heart of hearts, if you know that you are telling something, conversation that promotes elevation, folks will change, and you'll feel it in your heart, and you'll see miracles, and you'll see times when you don't expect it, that a person will call you and ask you to do something, and you'll see unexpected checks come in the mail, and you'll see unexpected opportunities show up, and you'll say, man, wait a minute. I always look at my girl Alethea when she's on here. Alethea, who has a serious speech impediment, but it's time and time again being called to speak at major events. See, I always tell folks, hey, your gift will make room for you, and your gift ain't necessarily what man sees as what. See, God will elevate you to places that man can never. God will open doors that man can never close, and God will close doors that man will never open. Y'all up in here trying to satisfy folk. I'm doing what I know I was told to do by a higher power. And once again, I'm not using the title preacher, teacher, bishop, prophet, none of that. When people say that to me, I actually have a person who every time I see him preacher, I'll be like, I'm Joe. Because guess what? Just because I got good oral skills to speak doesn't mean I was called to preach. And that's the problem. Some of y'all, because y'all speak well, or y'all have a certain ability that y'all feel like this skill set, only if I know in my heart of hearts and my spirit that I was called to a thing, I'll do a thing. Because mind you, I've been on this microphone, and there's some people back home who grew up with me I've been on this microphone since I was in high school. I'm 58 years old. I was a high school junior on a mainstream radio station running a whole radio shift as a child, still in high school. This microphone is literally like me putting on a shirt. I ain't new to this. I ain't figured out all of a sudden this is something I need to make me who this. I am the microphone. Been the microphone. I'm like Thor with Mjolnir. If you don't remember, Odin told him, "We only gave you Mjolnir to channel your power. Are you the god of hammers? Are you the god of thunder?" 8 minutes. 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Of course, a lot going on, family. If you watch the news cycle, a lot's going on, and all I can say is pay attention. I want to say this one more again. I posted this on my social media. You can follow me at Joe Dupree Anderson on any social media platform. It's at the JDMS. But I did post this, and this only has to do with the state I live in. I don't want to go and give United States numbers. Let me give numbers that are in my backyard. People I see every day. Some of these folks I see who probably will be affected by what I'm about to say. Food stamps, SNAP benefits, EBT card, and Head Start may stop on November the 1st. If the government shutdown continues with no resolution in sight, and there is no resolution in sight at the present, so that can change at snap of a finger. But should it not, there is nearly 850,000 Louisianians who receive SNAP benefits, and over 20,000 Head Start children in Louisiana who could see disruption in their services due to this government shutdown. Let that sizzle and resonate in your spirit. 6 minutes to the top of the hour. I will tomorrow make sure that I have my good friend Elijah Nixon in here because though I haven't talked about it, I woke up this morning also knowing that the Southern University Jaguars in the SWAC down the street from where I live, 1 hour in Baton Rouge, which I do a lot of work for, no longer has their football coach. After a dismal 1-6 start to the season, Southern University's athletic department and the AD decided to part ways with Coach Terrence Graves. We wish Coach Graves the best. Coach Graves, I have been with you since day one that you got there. I have been privileged to do the coaches show and see you and talk to you Thank you for everything. Hate that the season went the way it went. Hate that this is the end result. But thus is the way. Florida fired Napier, and people here in Louisiana are begging for him to come back to UL. So, que sera, sera. Um, family, is 5 minutes, 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Once again, I need y'all to pay attention. Start asking yourself, are these people that you are putting in office, be it local, state, or federal, are they people of the people, for the people, and with the people? And I'm not just saying some of the people, not just their family and friends and folks they're connected to, not their donors, but are they doing what is best for the greater good of all? If not, ask yourself, why are you voting for them? Why are you putting them in places where they can literally connotate and denotate how your life goes from the standpoint of taxes, services, accessibility to certain things? Start asking yourself those hard questions. Family, it's time for me to get up out of here. I got a day to get started. I've got places to go, people to see, things to do. We'll be back tomorrow for Work It Out Wednesday, if the Lord say the same. It is almost middle of the week, hump day. And as we go toward the weekend, boy, I'm starting to really pick up steam because I got things going on. I've got, of course, football game on the bluff. I've got a volleyball game on the bluffs. A lot going on. Time for me to get up out of here. Got to do some studying, still trying to chug along and make it to 2027 if the Lord say the same, where I can complete my educational journey. And thank you for all of those who have prayed for me, all of those who have given me encouraging words. This ain't easy, family. I done been in tears a couple of times. And but it's going to be worth it because I know I should have did this a long time ago, and I didn't. And sometimes waiting to the last minute, you're gonna pay the cost, and I'm paying the cost, but I'm going to get it done. If the Lord say the same, and I know He's with me. So let me get ready to get up out of here and say what I always say as I end every broadcast. Listen, family, be better today. Be better today than you were yesterday, and do something today to bless somebody somewhere, that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way they could ever pay you back because you gave it to them and released it freely from your heart to see them be better. Always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What He has done for others, He will and He can do for you. But when God is with you, nothing or nobody can stand against. Have a great Tuesday. Make the best of this day. Y'all take good care of yourself. Love on one another. I'm up out of here.